Bitcoin news was rampant this past week, capturing the attention of investors and enthusiasts alike as major developments unfolded that could completely reshape the Bitcoin landscape. In this video, we will discuss Trump's crypto strategic reserve announcement, how Bitcoin sets itself apart from the rest of crypto, BlackRock continuing to make bullish moves in the shadows, and so much more. So if that sounds good to you, like, subscribe, and stick around for these exciting Bitcoin updates. I'm your host, Ty, and this is Volume 6 of Magic Money Pill. On the morning of Sunday, March 2nd, President Trump announced the U.S. Strategic Crypto Reserve. As you can probably imagine, this generated absolute chaos and euphoria in the crypto markets. Here's what the announcement said. However, this announcement felt a little off, like maybe it was missing something. Oh yeah, what about that Bitcoin thing? Drama ensued as Bitcoiners were furious. How was the first and most recognizable cryptocurrency, which constitutes nearly 60% of the entire crypto market cap, not mentioned? This outrage led to an almost immediate correction from Trump in this follow-up post. Still, many people in the space were disappointed. All of these other coins were announced to be present in the reserve and not just Bitcoin. Many believe the reserve should be Bitcoin only. It's clear that there's a severe lack of understanding within our administration and the public at large when it comes to distinguishing Bitcoin and its importance versus everything else. Here's a video of Jack Mallers, CEO of Strike, explaining this sentiment held by Bitcoiners throughout the space.
President Trump announced on Sunday a crypto reserve for the United States of America that would include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Solana, and ADA, also known as Cardano. Let me be super clear with my thoughts. None of these altcoins deserve to be in the same sentence as Bitcoin. Better yet, in a reserve held and maintained by the United States of America. There's only one coin that did not have a pre-mine, that was fairly distributed, that is actually decentralized. One, and that is Bitcoin. No Bitcoin was created for the founders, was allocated to a special group. Every single Bitcoin owned today was earned through proof of work, whether that is mining, literal proof of work, or whether that is doing real things of value in the real world and using your earnings and your wage to buy Bitcoin. No cheating, no special interest, period. Gold did not have a pre-mine. Corn did not have a pre-mine. Aluminum did not have a pre-mine. Bitcoin did not have a pre-mine. Ethereum, over 60% of the supply was pre-mined. Ripple, 100% of the supply was pre-mined. Solana, over 50% of the supply was pre-mined. Cardano, over 50% of the supply was pre-mined. Listen, I could be a fan of this administration and all they're doing while also saying that was stupid, ridiculous, embarrassing, lacked all sense of integrity, ethics, and morals. Both can be true. Give me a break. Grow up.
The smartest people who aren't trying to either scam you or protect their wealth that can only be maintained in the current system all seem to eventually come to the same conclusion: Bitcoin only. Here's a few additional points on Bitcoin versus crypto. First off, Bitcoin has the largest market cap. In fact, at $1.7 trillion, it has a larger market cap than every other cryptocurrency combined. It has also created the most millionaires. Out of the estimated 180,000 crypto millionaires, 118,000 come from Bitcoin. That's 65% of all crypto millionaires. Aside from being the largest, it still consistently outperforms the thousands of altcoins in today's market. From ETH to XRP to Cardano to Doge, it is rare for any cryptocurrency to outperform Bitcoin over an extended period of time. In my opinion, the risk of losing is just not worth trying to find the next best Bitcoin, and even then, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Here's why. To truly grasp the differences, we need to understand Blockchain Trilemma, which revolves around three pillars: security, scalability, and decentralization. Every blockchain aims to balance these in perfect harmony. but usually one must be compromised to maximize the others. While most blockchains try to maximize for scalability, number of transactions, speed, and low fees, Bitcoin places priority on security and decentralization, which are primarily what our current financial system lacks. This is important because centralization is what leads to 45% of the world's wealth ending up in the hands of the top 1% of the world's population. It leads to central banks printing money that benefits the wealthy elites who own all the assets, while the rest of us suffer from inflation and money printing. Other blockchains mimic this current system and will not change anything in the world. This is why Bitcoin's finite supply, 21 million, and decentralized protocol solves society's biggest problems, the savings problem. Your money is no longer inflated away and begins to work for you when you begin to store it in Bitcoin. Our next topic is about last week's market crash. But first, if you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. Also, subscribe to my weekly newsletter that'll be in the description below. This is where I cover the topics from each video more in depth, as well as other stories that may not have made it into the video. All right, thanks again for watching. Let's get back to it. Last week was tumultuous for markets. Ongoing political uncertainties have led to a sharp downturn in the U.S. stock market. The S&P 500 has even gone negative for the first 2 months of the year, sitting around a negative 5% year to date. During this chaos, Bitcoin experienced a steep decline as well, plummeting from around 95K down to as low as 79K, an ugly 18% correction in just a week. However, if you've been around Bitcoin long enough, you know that it crashes hard and often during bull runs. Here's a look at the 2017 Bitcoin cycle, where Bitcoin saw 19x returns, but several severe 30+% corrections along the way. The takeaway: block out the noise, keep a long-term mindset, and stack Bitcoin. Your patience and persistence will be rewarded as long as you keep a long-term time horizon. Lastly, for our final story of the day, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with 11 trillion in assets under management, made a pivotal move by adding their own iShares Bitcoin Trust, or IBIT, to their target allocation model portfolios, marking a significant step towards Bitcoin mainstream adoption and passive inflows. Yes, these are the portfolios that people invest in with their pensions, 401ks, and other retirement accounts passively each month without thinking about it. This allocation introduces Bitcoin exposure into a $150 billion BlackRock portfolio, potentially boosting the already soaring demand for IBIT. They've suggested a 1 to 2% allocation to IBIT for now, which could increase drastically in the future. If you recall, back in September of last year, some BlackRock quantitative analysts suggested an 84.9% allocation to Bitcoin for a high growth portfolio. This is unprecedented, which just goes to show the current 1 to 2% allocation may just be a precursor of larger things to come. This development further legitimizes Bitcoin in traditional finance and shows constantly growing appetite from institutional investors. Notably, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, who once dismissed and criticized Bitcoin, has now emerged as a key advocate. Here's what he had to say about Bitcoin at Davos a few weeks ago.
If you're frightened of your debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of your economic or political stability of your country, you could have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears. And so I'm a big believer in the utilization of that as an instrument. And so if that becomes true, and you see that it could be a proper hedge against maybe hope security or equities. Yeah. The question is, could you see a 2 or 5% allocation? I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, but it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
But does it also?
I'm not promoting it, by the way. So.
Wow, 500, 600, or even 700K per Bitcoin. With the largest money manager in the world now supporting it, Bitcoin is no longer the future. It's the now. Please do your own research, but Bitcoin is obviously here to stay and more unstoppable than ever. It might just be a good idea to stack some Bitcoin just in case its price explodes. All right. I think that's a great place to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Again, like, comment, and subscribe to help with the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe to my Substacks below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.